About 8 years ago, I'm a toy collector, though fun fact, the day Toys That Made Us Season 1 was greenlit, I had about 400 toys, and now you might want to add a zero to that number. For better or worse, there's pros and cons to that. But, we did 2 seasons. Fun fact, a lot of people don't know this, Toys That Made Us was actually Netflix's first original unscripted show. Movies That Made Us is the first spin-off in the history of Netflix. But it's been about 5 years, and the number one comment we've been getting from everybody is, where's season 4? Where's season 4? Where's season 4? So for 5 years, all I could say was 2 things. One, stay tuned. And then about 3 years ago, I added, if it was dead, I would tell you. Which was 80% truthful. But very luckily, we were able to, it took a while, but we were able to make more, and we are here to tell you about the making of more, and we have a fair amount of surprises for you. But we will not be telling you what the brands are we're covering. I'm joking. That is the epitome of what we will be telling you. All right. 7 of the 8. All right.
Tell us about the Toys That Made Us journey from your perspective.
Well, I'd be happy to do that, Brian. Firstly, thank you for coming to see us, and thank you for the support you've shown us over the years. It's quite a special thing to be part of a show that means something like a lot to people. I've come up through TV, working on all sorts of junk over the years, and it's, walking in to meet Brian, and Nick came in at the same time. We're always striving to do great things, but there wasn't really an agreement. We didn't know each other. It was just like, cool, documentary about toys. This is going to be great fun. And as the time went on, it's sort of looking back at that time, it's unbelievable that we actually came together to make this show. That really is a sort of lightning in a bottle kind of thing. We started on Star Wars was the first one out as well. It's not like, let's put that one down the list and we'll work out our voice or anything. It was just like bang, straight in, and it just sort of happened. Almost cut one, boom. I brought to it my sort of years of working comedy and and other aspects of TV that I'd done. I'd been sitting on this a geyser of creativity, really, that I wasn't able to unleash until really I met Brian, and he was like, get the lighter fluid out.
And then you add a 0. Well, before we started this, I already had a few zeros, and now I have even more zeros. But the point is, I was coming into this show. I remember seeing the announcement that the show was being produced when there was that very first Instagram or Facebook post you guys put up, and all it was the picture of the board with the cards.
Yep.
And I saw that online. This is before I knew you, before I worked on the show. And I went, what do I gotta do to get on that show? And then, this is really bizarre. Like a month later, out of the blue, I get a call from Neil. And he goes, hey, I'm doing this Netflix show, and we're trying to bring in editors, and as he's telling me this, literally, I'm thinking, I remember I was walking my dog on my phone talking to Neil, and I'm thinking, oh, how cool it would be if he's on that toy thing. And I go, well, what is it? He goes, oh, it's this toy thing for Netflix. And I went, huh? What? So that was a big deal for me because, being a collector myself, being immersed in this kind of subculture, and knowing that for many years we were kind of like this hidden niche thing that a lot of people, there wasn't a lot of mainstream attention on collecting toys and on especially when it comes to Toys That Made Us, the vintage stuff, all the OG stuff. And to finally get to be on something where we were getting to put this thing that we all loved so much in the forefront and share it with a more mainstream audience was kind of like, this is like I couldn't think of a cooler thing to be able to come in and do. So it's been quite the journey, and I'm really proud of what we've all done over the past so many years. So yeah, excited about it.
Well put.
And just to give credit where credit is due here, the three men that are sitting here, I mean, they're being very humble when it comes to making this show. I mean, in a way that it has influenced, everything that we've done. The humor and pathos and what they created when they made this series has, influenced, I have seen dozens of other series. So, yeah.
And Savannah, what's your role here?
As the director of development, I've just been helping, come in and come up with ideas for new series. And
I guess it's Savannah's time to be humble. Every single thing you're going to see now is all Savannah and her team. So there, I'll be your hype man.
Alrighty, so before we dig in a little bit further, let's talk about Nacelle consumer products. Brian, you want to guide us through?
Yeah, I'm going to do this in less than 30 seconds. The whole gist of the slide is basically like, hey, 7 years ago we were making a show about toys, and now we're actually making toys. So so if you want to buy some toys, great. And if you don't, back to Savannah. Yeah.
How about the comics and animation? Savannah, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so basically with the success of the Toys That Made Us, we were able to go into a lot of other ventures. Like Brian said, we wanted to make toys because we're toy lovers, but then it also translated into animation, comics. We wanted to keep the stories going. We wanted to, bring the humor and pathos that we are so good at bringing to other stories and create a world of animated characters. And we're excited for everybody to start seeing those come out in the next few years and just really building what we've been working on.
Brian, anything you want to add before we...
I just want to get to the video and start talking about the brands. Unless everyone wants to hear more about our consumer products. What would you prefer? Toys That Made Us or consumer products? All right, well that's one. So we're making cartoons, all jokes aside, the one thing I will say about this slide, none of this would have been possible without Toys That Made Us and people like yourselves in this room who watch Toys That Made Us. Nacelle never had a show go more than one season until Toys That Made Us. I got to give Netflix a lot of credit for that as well, because they were the first partner I've ever worked with in my career who were like, yeah, just keep going, do what you want, as long as you're not asking for an overage. So Toys there in my career, which just entered its 26th year, the BCAD moment really is Toys That Made Us. So to say we would not be sitting here without this show and without all of you and millions of other people like you who are not able to fit into this room, we would not be here now.
All right. But sometimes, I'm just going to read what's on the card, you have to go back to where it all began. Am I right, Brian?
You're right.
Okay, all right.
You're right. We're going back.
I think we got something that we want to play here. Did you want to intro anything else further?
So this is a video that we shot in an hour or two. The whole world will have it. You are the first people that are going to see this video, A. B, you're the first people that are going to know what the brands are that we're covering. And wait till the very end of the presentation before you're like, hey, what about this? What about that? So that's one little thing I'll tease. Spoiler alert.
All right, let's do this. Can we dim the lights?
Oh, and as bonus points, anyone who can tell me the inspiration for this teaser, I am very curious to see how well we did or did not hide it. Very curious.
All right.
We are the heart of Nacelle is the editors. You just saw how it works, where I'm like, oh, it's going to be like the Star Trek episode. And Nick's like, oh, yeah. or the wrestling episode. And I'm like, yeah, oh, that's a better idea.
But the Trek comparison is that also applies.
It is,
absolutely.
yeah.
But it really is an editorial medium. We go out, we shoot, we do the interviews and all of that, and then, you know, it goes to these gentlemen and their team, and that's where the show gets made. So I just always like to point that out, and I don't always get the opportunity.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
So next, we have one of these episodes that I'm super intrigued by. Hold on, sorry. We have Nerf.
Oh, wait, go back one. I just got to point this out. So 2 things about this, 2 fun facts. So does everybody see the black Joker on the left? So that is the prototype that was brought to Jack Nicholson's house that he said, I love it. It looks just like me. But no, you can't use it. And that's, if you think that's the crazy part of the story, here's the crazy part of the story. When Jack Nicholson so don't get bored when you watch the episode, because I can assure you, this will be in the episode. Tax breaks, because that's mine. So Jack did not want to do Batman 89. He was dead set against doing it. So they just kept offering him more and more and more money. And eventually, when he said yes, he was the highest paid actor in history. So that's crazy, right? He rejected his likeness, which looks exactly like him, right? That's crazy. That's not the crazy part of the story. Here's the craziest part of the story. Jack Nicholson, for life, and rumor has it, he's still alive, got 11% of Batman. Not 89 Batman. So like when you saw that the last round of Batman movies Christopher Nolan's did like $3 billion. When you deduct the cost, you're probably looking at a $1 billion profit at least. Mr. Nicholson, who rejected that prototype, he got 11% of that. So there you go. Fun story.
That is wild.
And that's how he affords those courtside tickets.
That's right. 30 years has been the #1 selling toy in the United States. So new Batman movie, new Star Wars movie, new Harry Potter movie, that will be the Lego Harry Potter, the Hasbro Harry Potter, whatever. That will be the #1 toy of that, #2 toy, I'm bad at math, #2 toy of that year. Nerf is always #1. So with that, I was like, fuck it, we're gonna do it. So, wait. I think it says don't curse, sorry. But yes, and that, for anyone who doesn't know, and I didn't notice, the Nerf you see in the middle, that is Nerf product 001.
Yep.
What year was that? When did that?
70s.
Go back
Yeah.
and look at
Or
that.
something like that.
I think it was early 80s,
Yeah.
actually. It's younger. Yeah.
Well,
Nerf?
Yeah.
Very, very first Nerf?
Yeah.
Well, we'll know.
I don't know about anyone here. I have a 10, 9, and 6-year-old children at home. The only thing they're really playing with is Pokemon. So I got into it. This is really the first time this happened to me as a father. I got into it because of my children. I find, and by the way, I can't get them into anything that I like, but that's okay. I'm the adult, right? But yeah, I mean, why you have to do Pokemon, and it's actually, and I'm sure a lot of you may even know this better than me at this point, it is a fascinating story. Multiple companies, multiple failures before it became what it would become. So very excited about this.
plus it's the, I guess, ticks the Japanese toy box in this list, and we're big fans of Japan.
Does that mean I gotta go back to Japan?
Well, it's possible we could.
Can I tag along?
Yeah, we get some Getty B-roll or something. I don't know.
What? No.
I'm a 90s baby, so this is my episode. I'm so excited by it. I was so excited to add the Poke Marbles because when I was a kid with my brothers, I was obsessed with them. I don't even know how you play with marbles, but we were playing with them and it was the best.
Oh, yeah.
Similar to what I said earlier about superheroes, we will be covering Matchbox, we will be covering Tyco. So, I mean, it's not just, because you can't talk about Hot Wheels without talking about all the things that came before it.
They're very enmeshed, yeah.
This will be a very in-depth episode. The bottom right picture that you see there, that's actually one of the oldest pieces in my collection. That is a toy from Japan from the 1870s.
What?
If you can believe that. That company was purchased by the company that would become Matchbox, that when they purchased the rights to the molds to make those, made silverware and like chandeliers. So that we will another reason for me to have to go to Japan next year.
Aww.
Oh man.
The rest of the team?
There is no greater, crazier story than Ghostbusters and toys. I'm one of the things, because I have to do a lot of business stuff as a part of my job all the time. Starting with Toys That Made Us, I always know, find the lawyers, because they know what happens at every company. So, and that was a huge thing for us with the Star Wars episode, to put it mildly. So this brand, this brand has had more lawsuits, more almost lawsuits than probably any toy in history. They literally had a lawsuit that went on for 6 years, and true story, lawyers from both sides ended up in the bathroom together, like going to the bathroom, separate urinals. This is a PG show, but literally basically said to each other, why are our clients suing each other? Do you remember? Went back to their clients and were like, do you remember? And the lawsuit was dropped that day. If there is any story that explains Ghostbusters, it is that story.
That's good legal advice, too.
There you go.
Wait it out.
Wait till the urinal.
Yeah. Nick, what are your thoughts on the Ghostbusters episode?
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time. Like, I love this brand. I love this toy line. I have an inkling of some of the legalities and of the business end of things that this was always an episode that I knew we should be doing, and so I'm very happy that we're going to be doing this. You'll probably see a lot more of my toys in that episode, because I have a lot of these things. But I'm just as stoked about this as you guys are.
All right, so next, Polly Pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Highly requested episode.
Oh, now we get it.
Yeah.
Number one.
This doesn't surprise me, by the way, this reaction. This doesn't
surprise me either.
Yeah.
It beat fast food toys.
That's right.
Again, similar to Hot Wheels, it's Polly Pocket. How could we call ourselves the Toys That Made Us and not do Polly Pocket? For a bunch of reasons Savannah will expand upon. We have actually already started shooting this episode. For all of you fans out there, you can sadly probably guess why. But this was another one, very sad. To be completely honest with you, I'm super excited that we're doing it now. I've always been a little bummed out we hadn't done it in the first 3.
Yeah, we've known for a while. We've been discussing, what items we were going to do, what properties, and Polly Pocket was high on the list. So I would say even 2 years ago, when we were having conversations, we started meeting people who were connected to the brand, and we were fortunate enough to interview Chris Wiggs before his recent passing. And we're really excited and sad at the same time. We're excited that we get to, bring one of his possible last interviews to you guys, but to hear the passion he has about Polly Pocket and, the reason why he created this, we're just excited to show you guys and bring that to the screen.
Let's give a hand in his memory. It's going to be a fantastic episode. I'm excited for that one. And I think the one that we're all very, very excited about, fast food toys. I got way too many of these.
Fun fact, does anybody know what the first Happy Meal, it wasn't a Happy Meal, that's a clue for you, but what was the first Happy Meal ever? The thing that we now call a Happy Meal, what brand was the first to do it? Sorry, what was the IP?
Star Wars.
Nope.
Oh, Star Trek.
Yes, Star Trek. Star Trek, you can see it towards the right. That is the first of what would become the first Happy Meal. And we're going in deep. I don't know, do we have the Chinese? Oh, we don't have it there. If you, later on, if you watch do we have it there? Oh, you do, right in the middle. Right in the middle. That's the newest part of my fast food toy collection. But that is from last year. That is a Chinese McDonald's Tetris game that is celebrating 20 years of Chicken McNuggets being sold in China. And you might be saying, well, okay, cool, I get that, but why Tetris? The reason is when Chicken McNuggets first went on sale, they didn't do well, but Tetris was huge in China. So they did a partnership with Tetris to help sell Chicken McNuggets. And that's why they are celebrating both things in 2023. But yes, this is the #1 episode we have not done that I want to do. And of course, you'll see, McDonald's, they get all the credit and whatnot, but Taco Bell is there because there is no fast food company on earth that goes for it, because there's kids here, I'm not going to say it the way I wanted to, but they go for it. Their Phantom Menace line might have cost more to make than the Phantom Menace did as a movie. So I am so jazzed about this.
Ben, how excited are you for this one?
Well, this one I will need to learn a lot more about. I think I do know though that ever since the start, you have always been talking about this,
Yeah.
like early on. Yeah, I think I don't even know if we had what we had in Australia. Not the variety of things. America had such great stuff. We were sort of so envious of all the things. I remember once.
Kangaroos.
Yeah, they're not as collectible as you might think.
That
Kangaroos.
is true. That is true. I always forget that about kangaroos.
Yeah. So no, I won't try and ramble on about something I don't know anything about. But I'm looking forward to.
So we're making a book. It's coming out next year. We're doing it with Oni Press, who does all our comic books. And this is if I'm being completely honest with everybody, as I always am, we had hoped we could announce one other thing today, but unfortunately, a couple T's didn't get crossed, a couple I's didn't get dotted. So it could be New York Comic-Con or LA Comic-Con, but there is more news coming from the toys that made us adventure that we're on.
All right. So please line up if you have any questions. We'd love to answer them and get through as many as we can. And thank you.